Thank you, Dallas. Bonsoir. J'aimerais saluer tous les partisans des Canadiens de Montréal au Québec. I'd like to salute our fans back home. To make our selection, Director Amateur Scouting and former Dallas star Shane Shula will make the announcement.
From asset of the Finnish Elite League, Jesperi Kotkaniemi.
So they go with the center, Bob.
Yeah, this guy's rocketed up the charts over the course of the season. Last summer at the Ivan Holinka Under-18 tournament in August, there were a number of scouts I talked to who said they really didn't like Kotkaniemi's game. They thought he was lackadaisical. They thought he was lazy. Then he went and played in the Finnish Elite League, and he played left wing, which is not his natural position. But he did well playing against the men in the Finnish League, but it was still hard to excel. But from the moment he played in the Five Nations Cup in February against his peer group at a Five Nations tournament in Plymouth, Michigan, and then again at the Under-18 World Championships in April, his play kept on going up and up and up. And he dominated the Under-18 World Championships offensively, defensively, 200-foot player. And it started to become apparent at that point that he wasn't an off-the-board pick in the top five, and he addresses a huge positional need for the Montreal Canadiens.
And that's the big thing. They need center help right now. How much does he help them at center right now?
Oh, I don't think he fits right now, Craig. Maybe you disagree with me, but I don't think he's NHL ready.
I don't disagree with you at all.
I don't think he's NHL. I'll tell you one thing. This is interesting because Craig compares him to Anze Kopitar. It's a very good comparison. In 2005, the Montreal Canadiens took Carey Price with the 5th overall pick. The 11th pick that year was Anze Kopitar. Imagine how things would have been different if the Canadiens with the 5th pick overall in 2005 had taken Anze Kopitar instead of Carey Price.
There's only one way to get top-line centers. That's to draft them. And they haven't drafted one since 1993 when they got Saku Koivu, a fellow Finn. Bottom line is, this guy is a really good player.
Is he a top-line center?
Yes, he is. He plays the complete elite. He plays the game like Kopitar.
I believe the forecast right now is that he's projected, guaranteed, to be a second-line center in the National Hockey League, but certainly has a chance to move into that. And the way he played at the World Under-18 Championships in April reminded a lot of scouts of the way Alexander Barkov played in his draft year. He's not doesn't have blazing speed, but his skating continues to improve. He's so big, and he plays both sides of the puck extremely well. I think it's a great pick.
And he might be able to play next year.
Making the selection for the Los Angeles Kings will be longtime scout Denis Fouget.
From Karpat, Rasmus Kupari.
Rasmus Kupari, second Finn to be taken after Kotkaniemi. Comparisons out there. Lars Eller, Sebastian Aho. How far down the line are those?
Well, Charlie Coyle, that type of a player. You know, he's a really good skater that wants to use his skating to try to beat opponents one-on-one. Ultimately, I think he is going to be best fitted as a right winger. I don't think he's got the vision to make plays. He's got hands, but he runs himself into those areas where the blinders don't allow him to see the whole ice. But he plays with a lot of energy, he plays with a lot of enthusiasm, and that skating is something that's very, very good. And when you're trying to become quicker and faster in the league, you have these types of players, but I don't see him as a centerman.
Great skater, great release, and some would say not a lot of finish, even though he is a Finn. The question about him, he's going to be a great penalty killer, and he's a real solid player. The question the scouts wonder about is how much offensive upside there is. At the beginning of the year, there was a lot of talk Kupari was a top 10 guy, that he would be an elite, one of the elite picks in the draft. And the reason why he's at 20, and we had him ranked number 20 on our rankings, the reason that he dropped down was because over the course of the year, good, solid hockey player, but maybe not that high-end offensive upside that you would want in the top 10 pick. So it's not a bad pick at number 20. It just reflects that there was a recognition over the course of the year that his offense wasn't at the same level as those top 10 guys.
And let me tell you, if he had shown that offense, because of the skating and because of that enthusiasm, he would have gone a lot higher.
One thing I'll say is he's not ready for the NHL, but he's playing in a program up in Oulu in northern Finland, which is a tremendous program. They produce a ton of players. One of the owners of that team, Jussi Jokinen, one-time Los Angeles King.
So a pick for the future. You look at the Kings, though, in the immediate future, Pierre. What are some of the things they need to improve upon for next season?
Oh, I think defense. They've got to definitely build up their defense, and I think that's something internally that John Stevens and Rob Blake are very well aware of. both of them former defensemen in the National Hockey League. But they need defense, and if they don't get their defense better, that's going to be a problem.
And one area I would add to that, too, watching them against the Vegas Golden Knights, if it wasn't for Jonathan Quick, they might have lost every game by 6 or 7 goals.
Yep.
They were not fast enough. Halfway through game 2, I'm going, this series is over because the LA Kings, unless Jonathan Quick was going to be able to score as well as stop it, they weren't. They need to add a lot of speed and quickness into their group.
Agreed.